everyone, it is Dani'i and welcome to this update video. I trust and hope you're doing really great. Now, we're going to be talking about the disturbance in the Caribbean, and the chance has been increasing for the system to develop exponentially. So ever since NHC has marked the area, the chance has been going up with each passing advisory, update rather, and here we can see it now, 70%. So this is going to be bringing a pretty decent rain threat to parts of Hispaniola and eventually for Jamaica as well. And then we could see it try to develop into a tropical depression over the course of the next few days and eventually a named storm. The next name on the list for the hurricane season is Sarah. So it looks as though it's highly likely this will become Sarah. All models agree on development, and I also want to show you that because they're showing that, hey, this could become something pretty significant in the Western Caribbean. So we're going to go straight into the details for it, and we're looking at the satellite imagery, and here we can see that there's some disorganized shower and thunderstorm activity in association with the system. However, there's been a bit of a spin, like it's kind of having that vorticity with it already. So from now onwards, it's likely to just try to get itself together and to develop, and that airflow pressure is located just to the south of Haiti. Now this is going to be drifting, likely to pass very near Jamaica, but just to the south of the island. However, there's a lot of moisture associated with the system. So today and even tomorrow, there will be a rainfall increase across to the island. And with that, there could be periods of heavy rain, which may trigger flooding. So that's going to be a possibility, as well as those mudslides. Those are going to be possible with the passage of this disturbance. Now we are going to be looking at the rainfall forecast for today, as well as the environmental conditions and also the models. As I said, the models are showing all expecting that we're going to see development, and we're going to be looking at a couple of them. So let's go on with the rainfall forecast, and here we can see what Euro is expecting from now through early tomorrow morning. So we can see the very vibrant shadings there for southern Haiti. So rainfall amounts probably up to 3.5 inches in some areas. So for much of southern Hispaniola, Haiti, the Tiburon Peninsula, even for parts of the southern section of the Dominican Republic, could experience some heavy rain. And again, that is going to be increasing that chance of flooding. We also see Jamaica within some of the yellow highlights. Not as much rain, but as I said, there could be some periods of heavy rainfall today, but definitely tomorrow, as the system is going to be drifting by the island. And looking to Central America, going to parts of Mexico, Belize, Guatemala, El Salvador, Honduras, there could be some passing showers around. Same thing for the Keys as well as the Bay Islands. And Central America will really need to be on watch for the system as well as it moves to the Western Caribbean and tries to develop. And going further south, parts of Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Panama, the rainfall chance will get much higher, and those instances of flooding in Central America will definitely be more probable within the southern Central American territories. As we head to northern South America, in a few spots in Colombia, Venezuela, as well as Guyana, Suriname, and French Guiana, there could be some periods of heavy rain. Not at all a guarantee across the entirety of these different countries. ABC Islands, there is that moisture increase in the area, so there could be some additional showers today. Similar thing for Trinidad and Tobago, even near Grenada, so there could be some periods of heavy rainfall and thunderstorm activity today. As we head further north, especially towards St. Lucia, Martinique, Dominica, and Guadeloupe, there may not be a whole lot of rain, but some passing showers will be possible. More shower activity is definitely going to be on the horizon for parts of the Leeward Islands as well. Anguilla, St. Martin, St. Bartholomew, Saba, St. Eustatius, St. Kitts and Nevis, Montserrat, Antigua, Barbuda, and also for the Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico. Couple passing showers will be possible across sections of the Bahamas and Turks and Caicos Islands, going to Cuba as well. And then for the Cayman Islands, there may not be as much rainfall activity today. Now, as it relates to the environmental conditions ahead of the disturbance, let's go on to it. The sea surface temperatures are very, very warm. Matter of fact, they're warmer than normal. So there is a lot of heat energy to actually help to fuel development. And as we know, the sea surface temperatures that's not the only factor. There are a lot of other atmospheric conditions or factors to consider in terms of development, but the water temperatures are well on their way, and normally tropical cyclones would require at least 26 Celsius, 26 and a half, and here we have up to 29 degrees Celsius across much of the Caribbean. Next, we're looking at the upper level winds. So we can see these different lines. We have the red lines, the yellow lines, and the green lines. The red lines indicate where the upper level winds do not favor development. Yellow indicates neutral conditions, so not the best but not the worst. And then the green lines indicate where the environmental conditions are most conducive in terms of those upper level winds to allow for tropical development to take place. So we can see that parts of the Caribbean, the Central and West Caribbean, in some areas are within that pocket of the green shadings, even that yellow line right there. So the environment is not hostile at all right now in the Caribbean to allow for this thing to develop. And of course, there's going to be that substantial increase in moisture. So now let's go ahead and take a look at what the models are showing, and we're starting with the GFS. So the green shadings indicate the precipitation rate. The black lines are called isobars, joining areas of equal pressure. What we're looking for is them in a circular manner. The more of them we see being tightly packed, that is a sign of strengthening. So as we're going to be heading into later this week, go into Thursday, that is around the time, Thursday, Friday, that's around the time when GFS is expecting that, hey, we could see the system try to become a depression or even a named storm by then. And next, there's going to be a frontal system exiting the U.S., which will help to influence the track of the system, kind of allowing it to want to go up to the northeast. But essentially, the system is strengthening, and GFS has it becoming a very significant hurricane in the Caribbean. GFS showing what appears to maybe be near Cat 5 intensity in the Caribbean. And that is something that is extremely rare to see in the month of November. The last time there was a major hurricane, well, a Cat 4 in the Caribbean, that was back in 2020 with our Greek storms. We had Iota. Iota formed in November, and it made landfall in Nicaragua as a high-end Cat 4 hurricane. So that was the last time that happened. And then afterwards, GFS has this loitering around till it moves up to Cuba. Cuba has been dealing with a lot. There was already Oscar, which affected the eastern part of Cuba. There was Rafael in the west a couple days ago. There was an earthquake, well, 2 earthquakes 2 days ago, and now another potential threat. This is, I hope that this doesn't come to fruition for Cuba. Cuba has been dealing with a lot, and even those major blackouts across the island. All right, let's see what the other models are showing. We're going on to Euro here. So Euro is showing something a bit similar. We see it showing development. Those isobars gradually getting more and more compact as we head into this weekend. The system likely becoming a tropical storm by then, drifting around in the West Caribbean while strengthening. And Euro is also showing the system making it a major hurricane, potentially Category 4 hurricane status. So Euro is also expecting that. All right, let's go on to the Icon model. So Icon is showing here, again, something similar, that airflow pressure forming, that increase in moisture across the West Caribbean. The system loitering around for a bit, drifting around to the east while strengthening. It appears as though Icon is also expecting this to become a major hurricane, but move more towards the northeastern tip of the Yucatan Peninsula and then enter the Gulf of Mexico. And then finally, the Canadian model is showing here that we'll have that airflow pressure getting itself together, loitering just around Central America, and then making its way up to the Gulf. Now, the Canadian model is the only one of the 4 that we have just looked at, which is not expecting that this thing is going to acquire major hurricane status. So again, there's a lot of energy in the Caribbean to actually allow for the system to develop and intensify into a hurricane eventually. That's going to be possible. And as I had mentioned, Central America especially needs to keep watch. For Jamaica, there's going to be that rain increase between now and tomorrow. And as the system loiters around, it could even help to still influence the rainfall for the island. Cayman Islands also needs to be on watch for this. And then even the western part of Cuba, which is something I really hoped I wouldn't have to be saying. But based on the trends here, that's a possible area that will be affected. It's not a guarantee, guys. Again, we're still some days out. Changes are going to be likely over the next couple of days in terms of what the models show. So there's not a solid track right now to say, hey, these areas will be experiencing the worst of the system. No. For now, it is just a rainfall increase for Hispaniola, eventually Jamaica, and then Central America will need to be on watch. And it's likely that as the system gets itself together, we'll eventually start seeing some advisories being issued from the National Hurricane Center. But I'll be keeping you guys posted as per usual. And that is essentially it for this video today. And I do hope you found it to be informative. However, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. I'll respond to you when I have the chance to do so. And remember to always be weatherwise.